Hi, everyone. Hold on one second. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And happy Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve. I just wanted to wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful holiday if you are celebrating Christmas. And I was reading something really quite inspiring, actually, about the origins of the holiday and why we celebrate it at Christmas, celebrate this time of the year and what have you. And it really goes back to ancient times, but it was more about the revelation of light than it was anything else. And it says that the Roman Empire said, "Oh, hey, this is what everybody is doing. Let's attach Jesus's name to it and call it Christmas." Anyway, what has evolved, I'll say, is the acknowledgement of the nativity and all of that, which is a really, really beautiful. But we've kind of oftentimes we get lost in the true reminder and the meaning of Christmas and what that means. And you know, I've always believed that Christ, Jesus, was like an amazing role model, right? A really, really amazing role model for all of us to really embody loving thy neighbor as thyself. And if you really study Jesus's teachings, he was an incredible, incredible celebrator of women and their power. Um, Definitely wanted and saw the good in everyone, and really, was able to just perform miracles because of how much love there was in his heart, and that connection to the divine. He reminds us that all of us are the Son of God. All of us have within us the same power. He says in the New Testament, all of this that I can do, you can do too, or you will do. We forget those things, right? We forget those things. And so let's remember the true energy and the essence of what Jesus really, 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 really taught us. And go into this holiday and the holiday season with a tremendous amount of kindness and compassion and mercy, and opening our heart to all. So I wanted to wish you all a very, very, very Merry Christmas. We will tell you what, um, I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling. I'm going to Mexico on Friday. I'll be in Mexico for 3 weeks. So today and no, for tomorrow, there will be no download. I'll see you on Friday. And yeah, we'll head into the new year with our manifestations. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin the meditation. And let's activate that beautiful space within us that is that Christ like consciousness of true unity, loving thy neighbor as thyself, and recognizing the potential and the power that each and every one of us has within us. So let's close our eyes, find ourselves in our heart, and let's begin today by taking 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And now let's shift our energy, our awareness to the center of the earth. And as we shift our awareness to the center of the earth, let's imagine this beautiful energy swirling around in the center of the earth. And from this space, let's imagine this energy scooping up fresh earth energy, coming up through the soles of our feet, through our ankles, our calves, our knees, and our thighs, and traveling up through all of our chakras, and popping up outside the top of our head, forming a beautiful ball of light. Now switch your awareness into this ball of light and imagine this ball of light traveling up out of the space that you're in, higher and higher and higher and faster and faster and faster. Imagine that ball of light lifting you up past Earth's atmosphere, out into outer space, through different planets and galaxies in the Milky Way, and higher and higher and higher beyond there, out into different layers of light, some dark, through those layers, out into a beautiful golden like light, and through the golden like light into a jelly like substance light, and through the jelly like substance light into a beautiful pink haze, which is the law of compassion. And through the law of compassion, you enter into the seventh plane of all that is, the plane of creation, of oneness, and of complete totality. From this space, you become one with all the atoms and molecules in the universe. From here, we'll ask for some downloads for the group. As a reminder, downloads are just energies that we receive into our subconscious, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and experiences. Change your beliefs, you change your reality. In this state, you're in a theta state and you're tapping into your subconscious mind. So let's see what we've got here today. So when I think about Jesus, when I think about Christ, I think about forgiveness. I think of all of the adversity that he faced, so much adversity just simply by being him, right? That he was crucified, right? Killed, murdered for being exactly who he was, by teaching people to be empowered. He was murdered. So he had a tremendous amount of forgiveness. So the first thing I always think of when I think of Jesus is I think about forgiveness. And if you're coming into this holiday season heavy in your heart with anything that you feel has been done to you by somebody, would you be willing just for today to forgive them? Tomorrow's a different day. Don't worry about tomorrow, but for today, for the next 72 hours, let's say, would you be willing to just forgive everyone? If you'd like that, say yes. Would you like to know how to do that? That it's safe for you to do that? That you're worthy of doing that? Say yes. Um, it's funny because, of course, I say that and I think about forgiveness for myself, right? And the great path of forgiveness is oftentimes not about just a one and done situation, like, oh, I forgive you, I'm done, let's go on, right? Sometimes you have to really, 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 really work at forgiveness. And every once in a while, I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart. So holding a grudge is quite an undercurrent that underlines in a lot of things. So you know what they say, forgive, but don't forget. But that's not real forgiveness, is it? Because if you're not forgetting, then you're holding on to something, right? So, what will it take for us to be really, really, really honest with ourselves, with those who we are holding grudges towards, that are not allowing us to fully forgive them? So, everything that brings up, can we please destroy and uncreate it? In my practice, I would say really in the last 5 years, I don't know what this wave is, but there's like this wave of people cutting off their parents, right? Or maybe even parents cutting off the kids. That's much rarer, but kids cutting off their parents, people cutting off their parents, drawing boundaries, doing all of these things. Like I see it all the time. I just heard it again from somebody, and it's interesting, right? It's very, very interesting to me. Like, what is the energy behind that? Oftentimes people say that they're protecting themselves or that they are, being manipulated or whatever. And the answer is, having a boundary doesn't necessarily mean cutting somebody out. Forgiving somebody doesn't necessarily even mean cutting them out either, right? The real forgiveness comes with communication, right? It comes with a willingness to get outside of ourselves and be vulnerable. So would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like, and is in every single cell of your body to be vulnerable with those who have hurt you, and to do so with kindness and with mercy, recognizing that we often make and create choices from a place of a low level of consciousness. We don't even know the long-term effects of some of the choices that we're making, do we? Think about how many times in your life where you said, "Oh, I'll never do this, or I'll never speak to that person," and draw a line and whatever. How often are you really, really satisfied with that? Right? So would you like to also forgive yourself, right? Forgive yourself for the choices and the actions with which you made based upon the level of consciousness that you had in the moment. If you'd like that, say yes. And would you like to know that you are worthy and that it is safe for you to look at where your consciousness is now? And if you made choices based upon the consciousness of who you were in the past, it doesn't mean that you have to be loyal to them. Meaning, let's say that you've drawn a line or a boundary with somebody, or you've drew it like 5 years ago, right? Just because you have continued to draw that line or that boundary, or that you haven't spoken to that person in 5, 7, 10 years because of the loyalty that you have, what if where you are now was in a different space to allow that light to come back in, that allow that light to shine? It doesn't mean you have to let them back in, right? But it means for yourself to recognize that you're not that same person that initiated that grudge or that boundary before. So, would you like to reevaluate the places in your life with which you have decided that you have to maintain and be loyal to old choices that you made in the past? And everything that brings up, and the willingness and the unwillingness to let it go. Can we just destroy and uncreate it, please? And would you like to know that there's always healing on the other side? There's always healing on the other side. And it doesn't have to come to some pivotal moment where there is some great catastrophe like death, God forbid. Right? It always seems to be the thing that wakes people up. Oh my God, I can't believe that. But why? Then we've missed out. Don't let that be the case. So, would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like, and is in every single cell of your body to make proactive choices in your life now to release yourself from any regret, any rejection, any resentment that you have towards anyone and yourself? If you'd like that, say yes. And with that, can we just invite and call in the miraculous and incredible and powerful healing energy of joy? That you are joyful, that it's safe for you to be joyful, that you can live in joy all the time, and that it can be a natural functioning way of being for you and your body and your mind to live in joy. Would you like to know that you're worthy of choosing joy in every given situation, even the ones that are the hardest? I've had to really, really, really consciously choose joy this holiday season, because if I don't consciously choose joy, I find myself riveted with grief, riveted with grief that my mom is not here, that things that we did together for 48 years, we will never do again. It's hard, it's painful, it hurts. But I have to also remember the blessings, the magic, the amazing memories that was created so that I can cultivate that joy that I can live in joy and not rob the present with the pain of the past, right? So that I can be present with those who I have with me now, that we can love them, that we can nurture them, we can acknowledge what has unfolded and become. So if you'd like to know that you're worthy of doing the same, just say yes. Great. And for today's healing, what I'd like to do is I'd like for you to imagine that you're looking in a mirror. And as you are looking in the mirror, you see yourself. How do you see yourself? Do you go, oh my goodness, I need a facelift. Oh, I need to do my hair. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, or can you look at yourself and can you smile? And can you look in the mirror and say, thank you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are amazing. You have done a great job. You inspire me every single day. You are really, truly a spark of the light of God. Be with me always. I will never, ever abandon you. Let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this life. Let's spread kindness and love. And I want you to reach out, give yourself a hug. Feel the hug being given back to you from yourself. And know that that is the godlike spirit within every single one of us. Each and every one of us has that divine spirit within us. Allow that spirit, that divine love to hold you, to express its gratitude for you, to acknowledge you every step of the way. Now, last but not least, let's take our palms and rub our palms together. Faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Place your palms over your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes and allow that energy to come into your body and into your being. And place your hands on your heart and thank yourself. Thank yourself for being here. You're funny, Mikey. Don't say that. Tell yourself how handsome you are and how kind you are. Guys, have a great day. I'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. I love you all. Bye, everyone. Bye, Albania. Bye, Irina. Bye, Jessica. Bye, Junjun. Merry Christmas. I love you all. See you on Friday.
Bye. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Mwah.